Hi everyone, in this video we will discuss how to create a data source for the data set in a data mining project. Basically, this is how we add a data set to a SAS Enterprise Miner project so we can build predictive models with that data. To use data that is stored in a SAS data set in a SAS Enterprise Miner project, you need to define a data source. In SAS Enterprise Miner, a data source stores the metadata of an input data set. Note that you can also use input data saved in files with extensions such as .jmp and .csv that are not SAS datasets in a process flow. To input an external file into a process flow diagram, use the File Import node, which is located on the Sample tab on the toolbar. First, let's open the project we created before. To create a new data source for the sample data, on the File menu, select New Data Source, or you can just right-click Add Data Source. The Data Source wizard opens. This wizard guides you through a number of steps. Note that it shows here 8 steps, but depending on the changes we want to make, SAS Enterprise Miner might add more steps to the wizard. Click Next. Select Browse to find the SAS dataset. I have uploaded the example dataset in the course library. Note that this library changes depending on the semester, so make sure to check Canvas to get the correct library name. In this case, we select Chapter 2 in the Share folder. The dataset we're using is PVA97NK. This dataset is about charity donation, and the target variable is whether an individual is the donor or not. By predicting the potential donor, organizations can make decisions on how they would send out the donation request. I also uploaded the same data on Canvas, so if you cannot access the share folder for any reason, you can upload this file to your SAS server and work with it. Click OK, then click Next to go to step 3. We can see some basic information of the data over here. On step 4, it says that we can use basic settings to set initial measurement levels and rows based on the variable attributes. Typically, we select basic to use default settings. We can also use the advanced option to make more changes. In this example, I will show you what in the advanced option. Click Advanced and click Next. Note that in this data, there are several numeric variables with fewer than 20 distinct values that should not be treated as nominal. Similarly, there is one categorical variable with more than 20 levels that should not be rejected. There are some changes that you can make to fix these issues. First, class levels count threshold is 20 by default, which means interval variables with less than 20 distinct values will be treated as a categorical variable. That is not what we want. In this case, for example, we only want binary numeric variables are treated as categorical variables. So we change this to 2. Another change we want to make is reject level count threshold, which specifies a maximum number of levels for a class variable being marked rejected. The default value is 20. For example, we do not want to reject a categorical variable because it has more than 20 levels. We want to increase this number to 100 to keep most variables. Click OK and click Next. On step 5, SAS Enterprise Miner shows us all variable information, including row and level. We can check label to see the variable labels. Note that you cannot have spaces in the variable names, which should be short, but you can have spaces and longer description in the label. We can see different variable roles, including input, which predictors, and target, which is the target variable or dependent variable. Under level, we see interval, nominal, and binary. We can change these as needed. In this example, we have two target variables, target B and target D. Target B is a binary variable reflecting whether a person is a donor, and target D is an interval variable reflecting the gift amount. Note that we cannot build and run a model with two target variables unless one target variable is the target of another target variable. In this example and in this course, we only work with one target variable. We'll reject target D and focus on target B. So we change the role of target D to rejected, and SAS Enterprise Miner will not use it in the model. Click Next. You can see that the total of steps now has increased to 9 steps due to the selection we make throughout this wizard. This is set by SAS Enterprise Miner, so do not pay too much attention to it. On step 6, we need to make a choice. If we select Yes, it will take us to another step to make more changes. I will select No and click Next. On step 7, we select No to use the entire dataset. If you have a very large dataset and just want to use part of it, you can select Yes. This also gives us some information about the data size. We have 28 columns and 9,686 rows. Click Next and click Next. On step 9, we see the summary of the dataset. Click Finish. We click on Data Source and we see the data source we just created, which is linked to that dataset. In order to add this data to our diagram, first we need to create a new diagram. Right click on diagram and select Create Diagram. We will call this SAS example. Click OK. This is the workspace of our diagram in which you can build different models. To add the data set to this workspace, we just drag it to the diagram workspace. This action creates the input data node. On the left, we see properties of this node. We'll discuss some settings in following videos. That is how to create data source in SAS Enterprise Miner. Thank you and bye now.